Hi, St. Timothy. Father Patrick here. This week during daily Mass, we were reading at times from the Gospel of John, especially John chapter 15. Today he says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine grower. He takes away every branch in me that does not bear fruit, and every one that does, he prunes so that it bears more fruit. In my very first parish assignment, in the backyard of the rectory, there was this big rose garden that was basically overgrown, a lot of looking dead looking roses, and not a lot of life to it. And I wanted to kind of like dig it all up and start all over again. But there was this lady who was a gardener. She said, no, let's do this. And so we got in there, we cut away all the dead branches, the dead stems from the roses, and then we watered and fertilized everything. And all of a sudden, this garden that looked dead had now kind of been transformed, because now all the water, all the nutrients were going to the live branches, and it produced this really, really beautiful set of roses, and abundance of roses as well. In the same way, too, in our own lives, as long as we allow those parts of our lives, the dead parts of our lives, to kind of remain, like our sin, our brokenness, our traumas, as long as we kind of keep them in and hide them, that life that is of God kind of gets sucked away by that dead part of our heart, our dead part of our soul. And what God is asking of us, especially for those sins that we have in our life, to confess them, to give them over, and allow God to kind of cut away all that sin out of our lives, and even the things in our lives that are broken, and all that trauma that sometimes we're embarrassed, we're ashamed, we kind of hold it into our heart, and we don't allow God in there. We don't allow God to kind of remove it. And it can be painful. Absolutely. Sometimes it can be painful to be confronted by our own sin, by our own brokenness, by our own trauma. But when we allow Jesus Christ in, we allow him to take and cut that part of our hearts and our souls out that are just taking us away from God, we open up the floodgates of our hearts to those graces that God so much wants to pour into our hearts so that we can have new life. So let us today remember that we all have it. We all have parts of our soul, parts of our being that need to be pruned away so that God's true grace and true life can really reside in us. God bless you all. Love you. Have a great week.